Good morning. And it's Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday, right? So anyway, I've been so busy this week. I'm going to actually work on this as we're talking today. And I wanted to start out. I always think it's fun to start out with a little history of what I kind of show this in the thumbnail. And you'll see this. Good morning, Mark. And you'll see this resin piece. This is in resin. It's one of those pieces I did for the Lady Vase collection for United Design. And this is just the resin model. And at the time, I was tasked with doing a single head, and then we would decorate in different ways. So here is the actual resin model of the face that I did for this Lady Vase collection. I did this back in 1999, and I didn't even know. I was going through the boxes and I didn't even know I had this anymore. So I was really thrilled to find it. It was inspired at the time by pictures I found online of Michelle Pfeiffer. So I wanted to make a pretty lady face, and I ended up then reproducing that and decorating them in different ways for the company. So it was a company assignment, and it's heavy because it's done in resin, very solid and heavy. But one of the nice things I should say about a resin model is that it retains the detail for a long term, just saving your work. It won't chip very easily. I mean, it can, but it's really tough material. I don't like working in resin or with resin, I should say, because it is so toxic as it's curing. You don't want to breathe that. So, and there's some horror stories about resin that I know have affected other people. So, if we can stay away from resin, we'll stick with plaster models. And here's another head that I did. It had to be an African American lady, so I did this head at the same time. So at some point, and probably not until after my semester of classes this fall, we could get into human faces and human anatomy. It's very hard to do, but it takes practice, like anything else. It just takes practice. And Mark, who is on right now, asked me about the nightmare that porcelain is, because I was talking about how a lot of things were turned into porcelain in the past. And this is the piece that was done in 1983 for a big jewelry company called Bailey Banks and Biddle. And you can see how it's hollow. This was done in our home studio. It doesn't even have any marking except for, oops, there's the little signature that I would put on every one of them by hand. And at the time, and by the way, take a look at how we painted the eyes on this. And it was multiple firings, so that could not be done in one firing. It had to be done in multiple firings to get that eye. Let me show you the eye on this side. You can see how effective that is. That's just China paint, which is called overglaze also. But anyway, when this first came out of the kiln, let me see if I can show the light through it, if it's possible. I'm not sure if I can show the light coming through it. What's cool about really fine porcelain, I can't really, thank you, Mark. The eyes are incredible, he says. It's hard to show here, but if I were to hold this in front of the outdoor light, especially, it's very thin, you want to make it very thin. The translucent effect of fine porcelain, fine studio porcelain, is pretty cool. It's hard to do, yes, but it's worth doing because of the fineness of the final result makes it. That's the front view right there. So this was my own piece in 1983, and Chuck helped me make the mold and get it going at the time. And then I had to go and try to find a nice base for it. So I remember driving all around to different woodworkers to make a handmade nice cherry wood base. This one's a little chipped up with a velvet inset. So we went to great lengths to do porcelain in the 80s. but I'll put this back over here. Oops, somebody's trying to call me. Let's get that out of the way. There we go. But anyway, oh, thank you. The piece, and there's a lot of little porcelains, little studio porcelains we did that it took the learning curve was incredible. So yeah, it was a nightmare because we didn't have anybody to help us who knew the ropes, who knew how to do it. And we had to find any kind of book. And I went and worked with a ceramic shop to try to learn it. And their attempts were kind of crude compared to the direction we were going in, which was to make our own sculptures, cast them in plaster, and then pour the porcelain in the plaster molds. It is a process, but in the end, I'm really glad we did it because, and I wouldn't say I would never do it again. If I got a studio set up where I had maybe some help with the plaster molds, I might do it again. It's when you open that kiln, first of all, it shrinks down. When you open that kiln and you see your finished porcelain, if it comes out right, it's like magic. It's like being an alchemist. So anyway, so I'm going to work on this piece. I've been so busy and I haven't had a chance to work on it, but I'm going to get up close here today and just get this face done because I've been thinking, why am I not done with this face yet? So you won't see me so much as my working on this piece. And I've got my low light. Let's see if I can get it even lower so you don't miss any detail as I'm going. So what I got here today is, I don't know if you can see a really cute picture. I'm going to try to just smooth, I've nicked it up a bit and I'm going to smooth it out and just try to finish that fur texture on the face today. Let's see how far I can get. Thank goodness the weekend's coming so I can spend a little more time on it. But I just want to get this fur and this roughy kind of area around the face finished. And then I want to also be able to articulate. There's a little kind of weird cup, and I'm going to look here. It's covered a lot by the fur of the raccoon in here, but there's a little kind of a cup. And you'll see if you have a dog or cat, they have the same thing. And you can just, let me get this down further. Can you see that okay? I'm trying to make it so it's not blown out, but at the same time, you can see the detail. There's a little weird cup around the ears, and yet there's a lot of fur. So, oops, I don't want to accidentally scrape something there. Get that light over it so I can see it. Now, when I'm working on my own, I'll use my big light overhead and try to get a light that you can put directly overhead because that will give you a balanced view. Right now, I don't have that, but what I needed to do was just smooth out some areas here and look at my picture as I go because I'm just going to get this once and for all done, and you'll be able to see on Monday, if you're back, how I've done that. I've got some warm clay going on. I warm up my clay in a, if you can see that, it's all ready to go. It's not overly hot. Well, it could be. I have a plate warmer that keeps everything really warm. Now that's a little hot for me right this minute. So I just take my tool, ouch, and bring it out. The plate warmer itself can be touched, but I'm going to turn it on low because everything got warmed up just really nicely. So I need to put a little clay up here. I can see that. So I need to get this evened out and get those ears done because that really gives me a sense of being almost finished and then go back in and finish my fur. You can see how it's still rough trying to work out that fur when it flips up a little bit and when it gets real. Of course, I have my pictures here too. There's a cute little picture that I had the artificial intelligence in Adobe Firefly make for us. So we could kind of get together, meaning you and all who are watching and myself, get an idea of where I'm headed. Although on the base, I'm going to probably do some things that look like corn leaves that are on the ground and maybe some pebbles. I mean, we are in a cornfield, so I can't exactly put things that would not work for a cornfield. And these stalks will be corn stalks coming down. But I realized I really need to finish the head before I go on to that. And I'm going to. So, and if you have any questions, I would like you to please don't hesitate to ask in the comments after we're done here. I mean, I keep looking to see if there are any questions as we go, but don't hesitate if you see the a question you'd like to ask to put it in the comments at the end, and I'll be happy to answer as fully as I can so I can get you to really feel like you're not left with questions after watching some of this. But my main idea is I just want to create an effect um, of in through sculpture where I feel sort of transformed and I'm moving back a little bit as I go. Don't forget to move back as you're working. But the effect is one where I'm transformed into believing what I'm seeing. And I feel like the experience of doing this combined with the end result is really a meditative process. It makes you feel like, um, you're sort of going where this your subject matter is. So you're in effect getting a little raccoon or whatever it is right in there with you. It kind of adds to life. It really does. It makes you feel like there's other dimensions to life than just the everyday. And that's what's fun about sculpture. I'm just filling in that neck area a little bit and always looking at your, let me, there's my film. Let me take a look at the film for a minute. Can you see that in the film? Let's see if you can see what I'm, this is where I get to see close-ups of the raccoon. He's feeding them all kinds of treats. They're always moving. So what the great thing about film is you can, hi Cindy. The great thing about the film is you can stop the action. Oh, there's a good shot. Look at how their fur is just like this giant fuzzball. There's like, where's the definition, right? Like on pictures like that, you can start to see. And by the way, the hands, there's a really good shot there, and I'll enlarge that and articulate those fingers the way I'm seeing it there, not this clubby look that he has right now. That's just a placeholder in a way. So let's go through and I'm continuing to look at this area around here and also looking at uh, my study guide that I made that I gave all to you to look at or have download anytime you want to try to follow along. There's just a little bit more there. So what I did in my view, incorrectly to start was I had it up a little too high and now it's coming down a little bit more the way it should. But it's a process, isn't it? It's, and I would, if I wanted to print that out, then I could enlarge that hand. But I'll keep looking for even, or paw, is it a hand or a paw? I'll keep looking for good examples that give it a real close-up view, like the top of the head. You can see there's almost, I don't know if you can see it from there, but there's not really a clear definition of that fur. It just kind of comes out. So you have some artistic license. You can, you know, oops, there's my alarm. You can just make shapes that at least don't interfere with that, what you're seeing there. They don't go against that. But when you look closely, you can see a little bit of a and right there you can see furrows. So wherever you can see furrows, that gives you your idea of where it goes, like on the back. It's going to go around the ear and kind of follow a pattern this way. As you can see right there, those little lines I just made. So we're going to keep working. And every time I'll come on, I'll show you some design from the past and tell you a little history about it. And let's move this back now. So I have to say goodbye for the weekend. And if you have questions, I'd love to have questions and help you um, on your sculpture journey if I can, because in the end, it really is worth it. I look back on how hard it was with those companies and dealing with the, the politics and the kind of craziness that we had to, but I'm really glad we did all that. So, and I'm glad most of all that I can now share it with you. That makes all the difference in the world to me. So, anyway, thank you so much. Hope you all have a great weekend, and please put your questions on for me in the comments, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.